The Ashtavakra Geeta is not a book to be studied. It is a mirror held up to your soul. It doesn't ask you to believe. It demands you to see. No mythology, no war, no battle between good and evil. Only one battle, the one between illusion and truth within. It is structured as a dialogue, just like the Bhagavad Gita. But instead of Krishna and Arjuna, we have Ashtavakra, the sage of pure non-duality, and King Janaka, the seeker of liberation. There are 20 chapters, but they are not steps. They are reflections, waves of insight. There is no plot, no progression, only the deepening of a single truth. You are not what you think you are. Most spiritual texts are ladders. They say, climb slowly. First, purify yourself. Then maybe, if you're lucky, you'll see the light. But Ashtavakra says you are already the light. Just drop the veil. He doesn't speak from the mountaintop. He is the mountaintop. And he tells you, you are that. You are pure light, not the doer. You are the witness, like a dancer watching the dance. This Gita is not for those looking for mental comfort. It is for those ready to disappear into the self. The nature of the self. Who are you really? Now let us step into the central teaching of the Ashtavakra Geeta, the very core around which the entire text dances like a flame. Ashtavakra says, you are not the body, you are not the mind. You are not the senses, you are not the doer. You are not the enjoyer. Let these words sink in. Feel them, don't just hear them. You are not the body. The body is born, ages, and dies. It changes every moment. But the self does not. You are not the mind. The mind is thoughts, emotions, memory, imagination. It moves like clouds in the sky. But the self is the sky itself, vast, untouched. When there is no I, there is liberation. Where there is I, there is bondage. Ashtavakra points to this great paradox. The ego, the I we cling to so dearly, is the only thing standing between us and freedom. You are not the doer. Doership is the illusion of ego. Action happens, bodies move, thoughts arise, but the self remains silent, untouched. Just like the screen on which a movie plays, the explosions, the drama, the romance, none of it stains the screen. You are the screen, not the movie. So what is the self? Ashtavakra uses many words and none. He calls it Sakshi, the witness Chaitanya, pure consciousness, Atman, the true self Nirvikalpa, without distinctions Shanta, stillness Mukta, the liberated. But all these are just fingers pointing to the moon. You have to see it for yourself. He says you are ever free, you have never been bound. The bondage is only in your belief. It's not about effort, it's about recognition. Right now, in this very moment, can you notice the one who is aware of these words? Not the voice in your head, the silence underneath the voice. That is the self. It has no name, no gender, no age. It was never born and will never die. It is you, before thought, before identity, before language. You are already that. This is the most astonishing teaching of the Ashtavakra Geeta. You are already that which you seek. There is nothing to attain, no pilgrimage to make. No mantra to chant for lifetimes. Just be still. Just see clearly. Just drop the false and the truth will shine. But the mind says, how can this be so easy? I've done so many practices, read so many scriptures. Ashtavakra says, drop the effort. Stop trying to become. You already are. Liberation is not in becoming. It is in being. King Janaka, the seeker, listens, and he doesn't argue. He doesn't debate. He simply recognizes. And in that moment, he awakens. From king to sage in a breath. That is the power of direct knowledge. Na me bandha na moksho me bhranti matram etat khalu. I have no bondage. I seek no liberation. These are only illusions, dreams of the mind. Contemplative moment. Let's pause here, dear listener. Breathe in and breathe out. Ask yourself gently, without effort. If I am not my body, if I am not my thoughts, who am I? Don't look for answers. Just be with the question. Let silence answer for you. The illusion of the world. Understanding Maya. Now that Ashtavakra has revealed the nature of the self, he turns our gaze outward, toward the world we experience, and he says something shocking. The world you see is not real. This world is nothing but an illusion. See instead the truth of your own self. Let that sink in. Everything we chase, success, relationships, pleasures, fears, goals, identity, is like chasing shadows in a dream. Ashtavakra calls this dream Maya, a magical projection, a movie on the screen of consciousness. Have you noticed how dreams feel real when you're in them? But the moment you awaken, they vanish, no matter how beautiful or terrifying they were. Ashtavakra says, this waking world is no different. The only difference is duration. Dreams last for minutes. The waking dream lasts for decades. But both dissolve the moment you awaken to the self. What makes the world appear real? Desire, fear, attachment. These are the threads that hold the illusion together. We want the illusion to be real because we are invested in it. We identify with the actor in the play, and we forget that we are the stage itself. The moment you see through the illusion, not intellectually but from silence, a great freedom arises. You no longer react. You no longer cling. You simply watch. And in that witnessing, the illusion dissolves like fog in sunlight. Ashtavakra is crystal clear. As long as you identify with the body and the world, you will suffer. But he doesn't ask us to run away from the world. He doesn't promote renunciation of action. He speaks of renunciation of identification. That is true detachment. To live fully, to act naturally, to love deeply, but without clinging, without fear, without ownership. Give up pride in intellect, beauty, and the body. Abandon ownership, this is mine, and rest in your natural freedom. This is important. Detachment is not coldness. It's not a denial of life. It is a deep intimacy with existence, without clinging to it. Like a lotus leaf on water, floating in the world, untouched by the world. The detached one sees pleasure and pain, gain and loss, fame and shame, and remains silent, still, free. Ashtavakra says, the wise one acts without a sense of doership, lives without a sense of ownership, and rests in the joy of being. This is the moksha, the one who is liberated while living, because it is freedom from suffering. The root of all suffering is attachment, to outcomes, to people, to ideas, to self-image. When we hold tightly, we are tense, afraid to lose. But the moment we let go, something miraculous happens. We don't fall, we fly. The ego says, I must control everything. But the self knows, I am everything. Detachment is not escapism. It is the deepest trust in the flow of life. To act, to love, to live, and yet not to bind. That is real yoga, not union with something, but recognition that there was never separation to begin with. Ashtavakra says, he who sees the self has no fear of death, no longing for life, no attachment to pleasure, no hatred of pain. Imagine a life like this, where you walk through the world as a silent witness, engaged but not entangled, doing what needs to be done, saying what needs to be said, but inside untouched. This is not some fantasy for monks in caves. This is your birthright. The self that you are is always free. Only the idea of me suffers. Drop that idea. And all that remains is peace. Let's pause and reflect. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes if you like. And let's ask, not from the head, but from the heart. What am I holding on to? Is it an idea of who I should be? A memory? A wound? A desire? A fear? What would happen if I just let it go? Not suppressed, not denied, just dropped gently. Ashtavakra says, let go of everything and rest in the self. Not tomorrow, now, here and now. Here's a final image for this part of the journey. Imagine the sky, vast, silent, infinite. Now imagine clouds, some white, some dark, floating across the sky. Those clouds are your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your cravings, your fears. Let them pass. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just be the sky. This is the essence of detachment. You are not your story. You are the silence in which the story appears. And in that silence there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to seek. There is only freedom.